demons are the other entities living in the brain. Yeah, I've heard plenty. I've run into plenty of people that are DID and MPD, and once you get to know how they are, you learn what to look for, and that's how you can kind of spot it in other people or that are around you. It's not something you spot right away, but if you just sit back and watch and observe, then you can tell who they are. But you have to understand, the reason it's caused is because when anybody that suffered sexual abuse as a child is undoubtedly, as an adult, DID. Because their mind will fragment to protect that child from the abuse that they're suffering. And so that's what happens to them. And the Lord loves these people, folks. I mean, it's the way of Him protecting these children from the sexual abuse that they're suffering as children. And He loves the children, and He'll protect them. And you'll almost always run into, when you have any contact with people who are like this, they'll have real religious spirits. They may have a wild one. And especially if they're MyLab, if they've, MyLabs are military lab rats, they call them, and they're people that are being handled and controlled by the military. And what they do is they take people and fragment them and split their minds. And then what they do is program different alter personalities within this person. George Bush is an example. He's on my lab. Of course, he's also just a Satan seed, one of his own, but he's DID. It's classic characteristics as well. And they use them as pawns that way. They can use them, they can have one of their personalities fitted to be a statesman or a politician, and another personality to be a religious person, and then another personality, and this person then will just switch between personalities, and their head doesn't spin backwards and sideways when they're switching personalities. It's so subtle you can't even tell half the time. This isn't Hollywood. When a person switching their personalities, there's really no way to tell. Sometimes all it is a blink, and there's somebody else. Or you're Britney Spears and your eyes roll in the back of your head. But I just feel sorry for these people, folks. Because I know from the time they were kids they were abused. And now they're just being handled and controlled. But that's society, folks. I'm not going to get much more into the entertainment crowd tonight. Much more fun picking on the political people. I have much more fun watching the State of the Union and watching everybody's hair turn green or face turn green, or lizards like George Bush. You've seen the YouTube video of George Bush's lizard fork tongue. Oh, that was nasty. I think that's on, somebody posted that on my MySpace site. If you haven't seen my MySpace site, it's myspace.com/Sherry Shriner. And somebody posted that video, that YouTube video of George Bush. And at my MySpace, folks, anybody who wants to join MySpace is okayed, approved. I don't go through and look at people's portfolios, their profiles. I don't have time for any of that. I just do a sweep approval. But if they are posting junk, I'll go through and delete it out of my comments box or whatever it is. I hardly go to that MySpace site. I go there about once a week to catch up on emails and allow people on to join and stuff. But there's a lot of interesting YouTube videos posted on there. Yeah, the eyes, that's how I can tell the eyes change. So other people getting onto this. It's really a much larger phenomena than people realize. How many people today in the world are suffering from DID, MPD, multiple personality disorder? It's much more dominant than people think. I never even knew what it was until I got on the internet, and I befriended people. I was like, what is wrong with these people? And then you start to learn. The Lord starts to teach you things, and it just blew me away. But nothing to fear. It's just only if they're MyLabs, because the MyLabs, that's how they train assassins. That's what they did to the DC sniper. They compartmentalized, fragmented his mind, trained one of his alters to be the sniper, and that's what they do. And then they just set him up to take the fall, or they can actually use him as a sniper, as an assassin. But that's what they do, folks. He was a MyLab, and I posted his code on my site at hiddencodes.com. You know, the military has been abusing people for a long time, and yes, they do have their own UFOs piloted by NSA pilots. The triangle-shaped UFOs are NSA UFOs. Satan has discs, the round circular discs. Our military has triangular-shaped UFOs. And they do copy a lot of things that the aliens do. They do abduct people. They do try to do these fake abductions and stuff so that people will think that it's aliens when it's really the military. They do this to confuse the issue because they want you to think that the entire UFO alien agenda is fake and it's just the military pulling it off. But it's both, folks. You've got real aliens and UFOs, and you have the fake aliens and UFOs brought on by the NSA, and then they both work together on these underground bases for all these agendas and plans and facades that they're pulling on the public. But either way, they both exist. They both exist. They are real and they are fake. But that's all. I'm not going to really get into UFOs tonight and aliens. I just thought it was interesting that I finally got a number in the codes about how many star-like ships there are in our atmosphere right now, and there are 9. So if you look outside, right above the horizon at sunset, you'll start seeing the stars. They're brighter than any other star in the sky, and the other stars kind of seem like they're way up there, and these ones seem like they're real low. It's because they're not stars. They're motherships. They're these alien motherships, and this Sananda and Maitreya and all these alien idiots. That's their stomping ships. That's where they live. These lesser disc-shaped UFOs come from these huge motherships. These star-like orbs come from them, and they do reconnaissance and a lot of reconnaissance at military bases. That's why you always see UFOs at military bases and stuff, because Satan isn't omniscient and all-knowing. He uses his aliens for reconnaissance, and they build up their own computer bases on what's going on, legislations that are passed in countries and stuff. They stay on top of everything, folks. They have huge databases on everything going on in the world, so that Satan can have access to knowledge and to everything that's going on, because he's not all-knowing. That's what he uses these UFOs for, these reconnaissance aircraft. It's basically all they are, UFOs. If they're not abducting people, they're working as reconnaissance, spying, data building. And they love the internet. They're all over the internet. I wrote an article, Aliens on the Internet. Different ways they use the internet. But yeah, if some of you just breaking into this stuff, you might want to go to my article section at SherryTalkRadio.com. I have a lot of articles on the aliens, in the beginning, pre-Adamic civilization, just a little bit of everything in my articles, and I offer everything for free. I don't put DVDs together and charge for them. I don't have a subscription website. I don't make you pay to listen to these shows every Monday night. I do everything for free for the Lord's people and for those waking up. As He freely gives, I freely give. And I've always told them what He taught me, I would teach His people, and that's what I do, folks. Alright, until next week, everybody. God bless.